Right. So after you've put in all your logos, it should end up looking something like this. In the previous video, we tackled the customer section, which allowed us to build out this uh, layout over here. It's not perfect, and to me, it looks like we might even be missing one. Reebok, Adidas, Gucci. 24689. It looks like we're missing one. Converse. Converse is missing. Let's get Converse in there. That should be right after the Puma. Whoops. How about that? That's how accidents happen. Let's get in there. And we should get Converse right there. Perfect. Okay. So there we go. We got all 10 of them. The grid isn't exactly the way we like. We would have liked to have them all on 2 rows, but you know what? I'll take it for now. This is something I can live with. And of course, we're going to be dealing with the page width, which will also help. There you go. See, they're just a bit wider and they all fit perfectly. Um, okay, so we got our projects somewhat laid out. We have Meet the Team somewhat laid out. Our customers, good progress here. That leaves the footer. It leaves the 6 reasons, the video section, and then a big cleanup. So I'm going to tackle the 6 reasons section next because it's probably one of the more complex areas. So I'm just going to make sure all my work is saved before we continue there. And let's take a quick look and see what that section entails. We have our headings. That's a no-brainer. But there's basically 2 ways, well, more than 2, honestly, but a couple of ways we can tackle this. Okay, you can create a left column and a right column, splitting this section into 2. And then in each of those columns, create one of these icon next to text blocks, and then repeat it a couple more times to get the 3 vertical and 3 vertical. The other approach is to just basically create this block here, which will have an icon or an image on the left and text on the right, and then have that unit repeated 6 times, and like the logos, create a row that will break and create it, that flow horizontally, that wraps and breaks. Now, either way is okay with me. Um, and you could start with one and change to the other anytime. That's the beauty of HTML. I'm gonna try doing it using rows so that we can break to the next row, but we might not have as much control over it as we'd like, and the results might be a little wonky. But let's give it a shot. It's easy to fix afterward if we decide to change. So let's head on up to the 6 reasons. Now for this one, might as well grab the headings since we're here and throw them up there. There you go. So that is going to look, so let's move that over. This is going to say 6 reasons to. And the subheading, this is kind of nonsense, but it's fine. All right. Now, let's get to the business here. Give ourselves some space to work. And we need a parent container, no matter what. And this is going to be the 6 reasons grid. Of course, that's terribly bad syntax, we need to create a div with a class of 6 reasons grid. That was special, gotta say. Closing div. And what I want to do is create one of these elements right now. Okay, this is going to be looking like this. What I want to do is create one of these, and let's look at the breakdown here. Okay, so there's a container for the icon, a container for the text, and around it there needs to be a parent container so that we can assign the flex property, and it groups it together. Think of it as a grouping. Okay, so we need a couple of things here. The parent container. So this would be a div. We're going to give this a class name of its own, and we're going to call it the 6 reasons card, and we're going to call that an S in there as well. Okay, so like the image and like the project, it's going to be a card that brings together an image and another element. So on the left, we'll have a div, and class equals 6 reasons icon. And for now, we'll just put a placeholder text. And next to it, we'll have a div with a class of 6 reasons text. And here will be some placeholder text. What does that look like? There you go. So basically we end up with one of these, which is a group that contains 2 items inside. Now it's time to add some CSS to this to make sense of what it is we're doing here. Let's try this. Let's make the other copies right away so we can see how they flow. So there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 more. There you go. So we have the 6 cards within there. You should see them right there. And now I want to go to the parent, and that's going to be the 6 reasons grid to create. Oh, section, video, section, there, 6 reasons. 6 reasons grid, and we'll display flex, and nothing happened. Where did we go wrong? Let's go back to our source code, take a quick look here. 6 reasons grid. Oh. What happened there? It caught 4 of them, but not the rest. So 1 there, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's an extra div in there. That's what happened. That's 5, that's 6, and that's where that extra div belongs. There we go. See, now we group them properly, all 6 together. Okay, there we go. So we might want to label these and just say this is the closing grid div. Comment. Beautiful. So what we want to do next is have 2 appear per line. So before we do that, we need to tackle the 6 reasons card situation, because in the card that we see here, the blue outline, they're next to each other not vertically stacked. So let's go back here. 6 reasons. Card. Guess what? We're going to display the flex here because we want the icon next to the text. And that's it. That's all you want. Once again, they fly off the page like they did before. So in the grid, we have to make sure we say flex wrap, wrap. Bingo. Now they're wrapping beautifully, but we want 2 per line, not 4 and whatever's left over. So the card itself, we want to make sure it takes up 50% of the space. So we're going to say flex basis 50%. I think that might be too much. No, seems to work beautifully. Look at that. So we have some nice flow here. And if the page does get narrower, these will keep getting smaller until they stack vertically. Perfect. So guess what, folks? We just finished a very tricky section, the 6 reasons to find an excuse. Now I'm going to stop here and we're going to finalize a couple of the other ones. And next we'll start doing circling back and cleaning things up and making things look pretty. But the heavy lifting is getting done quite nicely and quickly here. See you in the next video.